up with you right now. Welcome into Get Up on this Wednesday morning. I'm Dan Graziano in for Greeny. I have Monica McNutt. I have Lewis Redick here. We also have Swagoo. We have Brian Windhorst. We're going to talk some football. We're going to talk some basketball. We're going to talk some Masters. We're going to get right to it with the game of the night. Lakers visiting the Thunder. Lakers had a 27-point victory over the Thunder on Sunday, and the rematch could clinch them a playoff spot. So we'll pick it up with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Lakers down 84-77. That's LeBron James burying the three. Lakers down by 4. Later in the third now, Lakers trailing by 1. Luka pulls up from the logo and gets the 3 to fall. That puts L.A. up by 2. 2 minutes left in the third quarter now. Thunder trailing 96-90. Monica, this is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander making a defender stumble and hitting the step-back 3.
A.K.A. just a Wednesday.
Just under 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Now Lakers down by 1. Doncic sinks the floater for the lead, but watch how he turns around and says some words in the directions of the ref, which the ref does not like. That's Luka's second technical foul of the night, which means he is ejected.
Bye-bye.
Can't believe it. Says he was talking to a fan. But his pleas fall on deaf ears. He is tossed, and the Lakers fell apart after that. Just over 6 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Thunder now leading 114-112. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander again from deep, extending the lead to 5.
He would go on, Graz, to have his 13th 40-point game of the season.
42 points, 6 rebounds. Oklahoma City wins. Here's Luka after the game.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it that happened, but you know, I never got a fan ejected, never. But if he's gonna talk, I'm gonna talk back like always. So that had nothing to do with the ref. So I didn't really understand. I mean, it was tough. I mean, we were right there. I think we fought the whole game. You know, we were down 8 at halftime. We came back in the third quarter. We were fighting, man. So it was tough to see that. With this kind of situation that happened, and you know, that's on me too, so I can't let my team down like that.
All right, lots to get into here, but Wendy, I want to start with this. The ejection, I mean, was it unfair?
Yes, it was unfair. It seems that Luka, it doesn't look like there's even contact on the play. So I believe Luka that he's not reacting to the official, that he is talking to the fan. He talks to the fan all the time. However, he bears responsibility for this for 2 reasons. One, he already had a technical foul in the game for yelling at this same official. And so, you know, if you put yourself in position, you earn being on the line like that. The second thing is he's got a long history, very, 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 very long history of screaming at refs. And so, therefore, he pays for his reputation here. It is not fair. It definitely probably decided the outcome of this game or heavily contributed to it. And we'll see how it affects his mood going into a very emotional game tonight in Dallas.
Monica, what do you think?
I agree, and I appreciate Luka at the end of his comments, Graz, acknowledging his role in all of this. Interesting wrinkle, though, Wendy, because I didn't know that the tech was for yelling at that same official. Then you really got to be on your P's and Q's. Look, Luka is someone who we've seen have conversations back and forth with fans over the course of his career, but he's got to understand the magnitude of these games. There's not much to say about this. I think he gets it. Hopefully this is a lesson learned. It's like when you touch the stove and you get a good burn. That burn is there. Hope he does not forget this moment, because every game down the stretch is absolutely critical.
But wasn't this, right, I was going to say, Wendy, like, wasn't this the issue last year in the finals? I mean, didn't this cost them against Boston last year? I mean, this is not a new problem for this guy.
Yes, I think very clearly there was a miscarriage of justice here. The referee, the crew chief, did speak to a reporter after the game. It wasn't that official. It was the crew chief, Tony Brothers, who said that the technical was for yelling at the official. I believe, Luka, that he wasn't yelling at the official, but he has so much baggage when it comes to dealing with officials, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. And that is going to be true throughout probably the rest of his career and certainly into the playoffs this year. So my suggestion to him, as has been many people's suggestion to him, is to back off the officials and focus on the game. But despite suffering consequences of that for most of his adult life, he does not seem to change, and so he will continue to run into these situations unless he does.
Well, fortunately, tonight's game's in Dallas, so there won't be like any extra emotion or anything like that. But seriously, that's a pretty big game for the Lakers after losing last night, right?
Yeah, I mean, the standings, what is it, 3 through 8 are separated by a game. So yes, here's the thing. I I am not going to act as if Luka is not without room to grow and improve. But I do think that when we talk about his flaws, you also got to remember who he is and who he's been to the league. An MVP guy, took his team to the finals. Like, he is excellent, right? And that, to me, is a solve for some of the things that you would like to see him grow up in. This, to me, we've been talking about his defense, we've been talking about his antics. I think he has an opportunity to really make some real headway as far as improving those things as a Laker. And tonight's game, every game matters. Like, there's not much to say about that. It just happens to be that it's a return to Dallas to add that extra emotional energy, but every game matters for this Lakers squad. So I expect the Lakers to come out with a win, and I expect Luka to play well.
Yeah, maybe a good opportunity if you're looking for a way to teach yourself how to keep your emotions in check. Maybe tonight in Dallas is a good
after the game.
I never got a fan ejected, never. But if he's gonna talk, I'm gonna talk back like always. So that had nothing to do with the refs, so I didn't really understand.
JG Wentworth here in studio says that ejection ruined his 12-leg parlay. We're sorry about that, JG. So now SGA and the Thunder are trying to take full advantage. Alex Caruso hits the triple to give the Thunder a 2-point lead, 6 minutes to play. As the Lakers are trying to maintain the 3 seed in the Western Conference, the Thunder have already bottled up that top seed. Thunder up by 5, and then more SGA. 42 points for him. He had 6 rebounds. Thunder go on to win this game. Another double-digit win for your top seed in the Western Conference, 136-120, your final.
Where Wolves? Where were they in the standings coming in? 4-way tie for 5th in the West, taking on Giannis and the Bucks. Where was the lead for the winners of 5 straight? All right, Ant-Man, the lead right now at 17, make it 20. He had 25 points, but only one of them in the fourth quarter. In that fourth, Dante DiVincenzo, ball movement. Dante DiVincenzo. They're all good, man. T-Wolves are up by 24, but here come the Bucks. Giannis stepping into a 3. 23 points, 13 boards. He had 10 dimes, finding A.J. Green there in the corner. That's a triple-double for Giannis, 10th of this season, tying his own franchise record, and now this game is tied at 97. And we've got a little bit of a shove down between Rudy Gobert and Kevin Porter Jr. This is a big tree that falls hard, right there. And both players get a double tech. KPJ standing over him. Okay. Gary Trent Jr. also gets a tech. To be clear, it's not that both players got 2 technical fouls, because then Kevin Porter Jr. wouldn't be around to do this. Coming up on the business end of the fine from Gary Trent Jr., there were 8 turnovers in the fourth quarter for Minnesota. The zone for the Bucks defensively just causing all sorts of nightmares. KPJ up to Giannis. It caps a 34-3 run, and Milwaukee down 24. They win by 7.
The only way the Suns can get into the playoffs now is winning out and getting some help. This after Steph and the Warriors beat Phoenix by almost 40 last night. Steph 9x'd his production from Sunday's loss to the Rockets, where he only had 3 points. Quick math, he had 25 last night to keep hold of the 6th seed in the Western Conference for those Warriors, who are part of the free-for-all in the West with just 5 days left in the regular season. The Dubs, one of 4 teams who are just a game behind the Lakers for the 3 seed. The only 2 seeds locked up in the West right now are the top 2 seeds in Oklahoma City and the Houston Rockets, and that is why we need to explore deeper with our basketball analyst, Monica McNutt, joining the program. McNutt, good morning. Great to see you. 3 through 8. It is bumper-to-bumper rush hour traffic with 5 days to go in the season. So how will the final West seeding affect these playoffs?
Well, the big thing in terms of being able to control where you land is you want to avoid the Oklahoma City Thunder in that first spot. And you don't want to be the 8 team either playing. And I think you want to avoid the 4-5 matchup if you can, because that means you would get the Thunder in the second round. But beyond that, Strikey, this is going to be so much fun. It's going to matter until the last games of the regular season for a number of these teams. In fact, I remember looking at these standings last night, and it looked a little bit different than what we're looking at right now. And so outside of avoiding the Thunder, and I know some organizations probably are not as fearful of the Thunder as I might be based on their experience. I think as a collective, they've got tremendous experience, and I do not think anything about their regular season success is a fluke.
You take a look at that bracket, and you're looking at a 5-seed Denver Nuggets team who are now without a coach. Some bizarre things going on in the Western Conference. One of those matchups in the West would be Warriors-Lakers. The Lakers, Randy, have an interesting one tonight.
Sure do. The get-in price there, pushing 4 figures down at the American Airlines Center. The prodigal son returning will do that. Luka Doncic going against the Mavs in Dallas for the first time. Demand meets Demad. Demad fans who wish Luka was still a Maverick after that stunner of a trade back on February 1st. The Lakers, Monica McNutt, clinch the 3 seed if they can get 2 wins in their last 3 games. So what do you expect from Luka tonight?
Did you say the mad? What is?
Yeah. Some of them work, Monica. Some of them need to be workshopped.
I love the 3 box with you guys on this glorious morning. All right, to your question. Here's the thing. The Mavs are not competing, and the Lakers need the game, as Strysky and I just talked about how tight it is in that Western Conference. So I expect the Lakers to win, and I expect Luka to have an effective performance. Now, whether that is 20 and 10, 30, I have room for the variations in terms of how Luka Doncic will play. But yes, this is the return, and that is certainly a storyline. But more importantly, the Lakers need this basketball game. And since the Mavs are not in a real contention spot, they don't have any room for error. So when LeBron told Luka to fit out, I think that is applied 5